we would like to welcome you to Audio Suplex Live, brought to you by the Nerd Complex Podcast Network. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
We only messed it up a little bit.
It's kind of our MO.
Hey, the camera's on me. That's cool.
Kind of our shtick. Well, you're the star of the show.
I wasn't looking at my phone or anything.
I'm just kind of your that's my gimmick, is to look at my phone the entire time we're recording.
Yeah.
So
that's real good.
Episode what number, Corey?
You told me it was 15, but I don't believe you.
It is episode 15. I was actually thinking about this earlier today. This continues for much longer. I'm officially going to challenge you to a episode numbering rights on a pole match.
Okay.
What we'll do is we'll suspend like a contract or something like that that says whoever wins this can number the episodes appropriately. So we have a constant like back and forth on what episode number it is. So because he
believes that some episodes don't count enough to have a number.
So if you've been listening to the show, you know that we have like pay-per-view specials that aren't within the normal numerical show numbering. So
even though we do them the exact same way every other episode we do.
Whatever. Anyway, so got a lot going on this week, man. A lot of news to get to, a lot of cool stuff. How was your week in wrestling, Corey?
Oh, well, Raw was terrible. SmackDown was
okay.
It was all right.
NXT was fantastic this week.
I don't remember what happened. I know I watched it.
Yeah, the number one contenders match with Hideo Itami and Roddy Strong.
Yeah, I saw that.
You had
the women's and
Aleister Black kicking some dude's face off.
Yeah,
and then you had they had a highlight of Ruby Riott. They had
then they have a multi-woman match.
Tino Sabbatelli and Riddick Moss versus DIY. They formally announced the ladder match for TakeOver Chicago.
For the tag belts.
Yeah, for the tag belts.
Which that
brings me to the first little bit that we want to talk about. We, Audio Suplex Live, are going on the road.
That's exciting. We're
taking the show on the road. So next weekend, Corey and I, will be joining friend of the show, Ajax. Ajax, I hope you're listening. In a impromptu road trip to NXT TakeOver Chicago. So we haven't exactly figured out how we're going to bring you content. We're still going to be doing our Backlash picks for next weekend, obviously. We're still kind of in the planning stages of deciding how we're going to bring you this content, but we're going to bring you some really cool stuff from NXT TakeOver Chicago. And
I'm going to meet Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
And he's going to sign my face or something else.
So that's going on. We have
What's today's episode about? Because I don't really care about what your wrestling week was like. What are we here for?
We are here for a couple of things. We have a ton of news to get to, but more importantly, we would like to welcome a couple of guests to the show. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Manly Graves.
Avarice, Gloom.
All right.
Wow.
And you guys are being modest. You guys are wrestlers here in our local area. Even more so modestly, we have the Northwest Ohio Wrestling Uprising champion, Alan Graves, with us today.
Newly crowned.
Yeah,
newly crowned.
Yeah, which was just this past Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, Uprising 9, I believe it was.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that. I'm lost on the numbers. We have one. They have them so often. I'm lost on the numbers.
Right.
They just tell me it's Uprising. I'm like, cool. I'm there.
So it was a hell of a show. The match in which you won the belt was a super cool match. I like the concept of it. We'll get into that a little bit later on when we kind of open up to a discussion with our guests today. But before we get into any of that, we have a little bit of news that we would like to do. On cue. You can call Corey a lot of things, never call him late.
Yeah, not me.
I might call you late. I don't know.
I'm always on time.
I beat you here today, actually.
Well, I meant to be here later than you.
Anyway, so first little bit of news that we want to get into. It was revealed reported by Pro Wrestling Insider that the actual recording dates for the upcoming women's tournament that WWE is going to be hosting this summer have been announced for July 13th and 14th. The tapings for the 32-woman tournament are going to take place at Full Sail University, much like last year's Cruiserweight Classic.
Yep.
There are rumors that they do plan on releasing the episodes after they're recorded in batches.
All at the same time?
Well, kind of like maybe they haven't specifically said how, but maybe 3 or 4 episode batches instead of how the Cruiserweight Classic was like a weekly special leading into the finale. So the finale is slated to be live on the WWE Network Tuesday, August 29th. No participants have been announced, but they do know the dates and the location of where they're going to be filming this at. So
That's cool.
do you have, off the top of your head, do you have any participants that you would like to personally see? Do you guys have any?
Are they crowning like a champion after that, like they did with the cruiserweights, or no?
They haven't formally said. There's a lot of speculation that the winner of the tournament would probably get like either like a shot at like the NXT women's title or one of the even more so like the Raw or SmackDown women's title. But they haven't formally said.
I feel like for the Cruiserweight Classic, they originally were going to do a trophy or something, and then towards the end, we're like, we're going to give them a belt. Like, they changed their mind.
Yeah, because I thought they were going to give him a trophy.
They didn't have
too.
a Cruiserweight belt at the time anyway, so it worked out. But with this being a women's tournament, they already have 3 women's belts.
Right. I don't think they would introduce a new belt with this. I just think it would probably like lead to either, because you look at the Cruiserweight Classic, they reintroduced the Cruiserweight belt, but then it also created this Cruiserweight division, and a lot of the guys from the tournament ended up signing to the company anyway. So this could be a situation where you see some of the women from the tournament. Obviously, I don't think all 32 of them are going to sign to the roster, but some of them will end up with WWE, and I would assume whoever wins the tournament would probably get some sort of
a guaranteed contract,
title shot or something like that. So I'm going to say I know she just did tapings with him and was on last week's episode of NXT. I think Candice LeRae is
she wrestled as just Candice.
Yeah, curiously, Mrs. Wrestling for the uninitiated, but I think she would be a good choice for it. There's names right now escaping me from like some Japanese promotions like Stardom and stuff like that. Maybe even some like women's wrestlers coming back.
Trish Stratus.
Gail Kim would be a good candidate for somebody to return for that.
Fabulous Moolah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Hey man, a boy can dream.
I'd like to see it happen, but I don't think it will. I'd love to see Jessica Havoc in that.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because that would be super interesting. I bet she agrees with me too.
Yeah. It has a lot of. I mean, look what the Cruiserweight Classic did for a lot of names last year. Like, there's people who, I don't think Akira Tozawa or Jack Gallagher would be as over with the crowd as they are now if it weren't for the Cruiserweight Classic last year. Kind of really introduced them. So
it's going to definitely change the women's division, which has already changed immensely over the last couple of years. So
yeah, cool.
It'll be cool.
So next thing I want to talk about is speaking of tournaments, branching off from
that's not what we're talking about next.
We're really gonna go in that order.
Yeah,
fine, whatever. I was gonna save this for last because it was not really news. It was just a bit more of like congratulatory. But
give us the good news.
Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella have officially welcomed their daughter Birdie into the world as of like 11:58 last night or something like that, as reported by WWE.com. So
and Birdie Danielson, the Twitter handle's already been taken.
Has it really?
Did you? I don't know. Maybe.
I wouldn't put it past you to
take
actually.
it right now.
You're gonna
I got
lock
some tweets
that down.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
No, I didn't.
Well, she looks just like Nikki, so.
Well, Alan, if you watch Total Divas, like Corey,
I mean, like she watches
it
it religiously, but like I just, I'm just kind of like, I just watch, you know what I mean? Because she watches.
Right. Low key, it's a pretty good show. Like, not only because it gives you like behind the scenes footage of like WWE and stuff like that, but it's for a reality show, it's not bad.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, of course you have.
I have never seen.
You've never watched an episode?
I've seen clips that like when they're making fun of the show, but I've never actually.
No. Oh, from like the Miz stuff that they did.
Well, no, not even that. But I've seen like clips of the show, like as advertisements and shit.
Huh. Well, there you go. All right, next little bit of news here. Speaking of tournaments, as we were previously, before Corey so rudely
what did I do?
Screwed up my segue.
I'm sorry. Well, we're not talking about tournaments.
The WWE UK Championship Tournament is now being obviously spun off into its own series. They recorded some matches over the weekend while they were touring in the UK and Europe for just kind of like get like a pilot is what people are speculating together for it. And it's revealed that Jim Ross and Nigel McGuinness are going to be providing commentary for those matches. It was announced by Jim Ross on his website over the weekend. So
insane,
not bad.
Yeah, Jim Ross is the man.
Yeah, no. Did you? I'm assuming you guys watched WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, he came out for the Roman Reigns Undertaker match, and that was just. It just felt right.
This is a good use of his talent, and having him call this.
Yeah, and it's cool and it's good to see him lending his voice now to a younger generation of wrestlers. So you have like you guys like Mark Andrews and Pete Dunne and people like that in the UK scene that are I think going to just benefit greatly from having Jim Ross, because Jim Ross commentary provides like legitimacy to what you're doing.
Maybe he can give some pointers to Nigel McGuinness. Not that he's bad; he's definitely gotten a lot better.
That was actually one of my notes and thoughts from when I saw this story was that I think this will only help Nigel McGuinness become a better commentator. Not that he's terrible, but he's not like quite where I think he should be.
Wasn't he calling? He kept calling NXT Ring of Honor.
He did it once during the last takeover. He accidentally called it Ring of Honor. I think it was during Aleister Black's match.
It's so funny.
That's funny.
Out of habit.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor.
I mean, when you've been doing commentary for ROH for how long was he there? Like, years.
15 minutes.
Shut up. 3 minutes.
50 minutes of fame.
Yeah. Well,
he's not famous anymore.
What are you going to do? So speaking of the WWE Network, more original content from the WWE Network as they have greenlit a game show to be hosted by R-Truth. I wish we had like a what's up.
I'm going to sign up to be on the game show.
I'm kind of curious as to see if it would be like an actual like fan participation game show.
That'd be sweet.
I would hope
That'd
so.
be kind of fun.
That would be pretty dope.
Yeah. So
like the price is right, but
once again, according to ProWrestlingInsider.com, WWE plans on adding the show to the network later this summer / fall. So something to look forward to for your WWE Network.
Maybe it's Family Feud with wrestlers.
That'd be kind of cool.
That actually would be
That
interesting.
would be pretty sweet.
Have like the Hart family on one
wrestling
side and the
idea.
Wyatts on another.
That's a good
Like
idea.
the Wyatts for the steal.
I'm gonna have to bring that up at our next meeting, the WWE meeting that I'm going to later.
Name something you would find under the ring.
Hornswoggle, number one answer. That's
Correct. All right. If they don't use that sound effect as like the correct answer, then they can't. We already cornered that market. We already have that as our
Trademark
correct
it.
answer.
Trademark it.
Come at us, WWE.
We should do a Family Feud episode. That'd be great.
That'd be really good. I don't think we have enough people to bring onto the show, though.
I don't think we have enough room to have like 5 on 5.
Okay, cool.
What else is interesting happening in the world of wrestling?
Cool. So, and this is actually my little personal favorite story of the week. So, 2 rematches from Wrestle Kingdom 11 have been announced for the June 11th Dominion show for New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're going to have a rematch for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship featuring Naito defending his belt against Tanahashi once again. Really good match from Wrestle Kingdom 11. But probably the biggest news coming out of this is the long-awaited rematch between Okada defending the IWGP Heavyweight title against Kenny Omega, round 2.
See, I always thought Dean Ambrose was the Intercontinental Champion. What are you talking about? What is this New Japan?
So,
is it better than Old Japan?
One of the persistent things on the show is that Corey doesn't watch anything that's not WWE. So.
No, I've been watching Impact.
Yeah, he watches Impact Wrestling. So
I'm 3 weeks in. It's not bad.
Has Scott Steiner showed up yet?
I don't think so. I might have. No, I don't think so. I think I watched him on. I don't remember seeing him yet.
Yeah. Let me know when he shows up, and then I'll actually
next week.
start tuning
I think
in.
this will probably next week be the last one of this group of tapings.
Have you even watched Okada Omega?
No.
You haven't?
Who are they?
Don't
I've seen clips. No, yeah, is that the one that the 6-star match?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, come on, that's why this is news, man.
Okay, I saw that.
It's huge news.
I haven't been able to watch the full match either yet. I've watched highlights though, so I basically know what happened.
All right, so we're gonna pause the show right now. We're all gonna just sit down. I'm gonna make everybody. That's a fantastic match. If you get a chance, go back and watch it. Obviously, but this is huge news. A lot of speculation on how the booking is going to go in this one because shortly thereafter, New Japan is doing a tour of the United States. So there's a lot of speculation that even though he's not an American, putting the belt on a North American like Kenny Omega will do wonders for.
Which of the two guys is stronger?
Stronger?
Yeah.
I mean, probably Okada.
So then he should win.
In theory, yeah, but who
trains the hardest?
Who won the dumpster match between Kalisto and Braun Strowman? Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah, book that. How's that grab you? All right, so moving on to a little bit of somber news, we have some injury updates.
Yes, tell me about it.
As your favorite part, you were a terrible person. Emma is shelved again with a undisclosed shoulder injury that she suffered at a WWE live show in Liverpool over the weekend. No further news on the injury, but Emma did take to Twitter to say the following.
She was doing her dance thing that she does and popped it.
Was it this thing?
I love that.
Is that what you just did?
does.
I wasn't looking at you.
know.
Yeah, that thing. Just a little unlucky. Thanks for all the messages. Waiting to see what it is, and then a couple finger crossed emojis.
Did you say it was like this?
Yeah, she used to
Isn't that Titus
do. That's Titus O'Neil, but then Emma
Yeah.
did like this.
To get more of like put your arms straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So, hoping obviously that it's nothing too serious, and she's not. Obviously, this would be really bad timing for her just coming back from her injury and. Kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Just got
Especially
into a new gimmick.
Yeah, and Raw's women's division is starting to look really, really good now. So after months and months of it being kind of stale with like the same 3 people in the title picture. So, not that I think Emma would be in the title picture quite yet, but still.
Are you finished with injury reports yet?
I am.
I'm not finished with you!
Sadly not done with injury. So Braun Strowman is going to be out 4 to 8 weeks with an undisclosed elbow issue. I like how all of these are undisclosed.
I thought it was
like,
from him. Didn't he run into an ambulance door? We saw that. This isn't news.
Finished with you!
This happened
The
on
league's
pay-per-view.
garbage. And now you are too.
So Braun Strowman, the human audio drop machine, is going to be out for 4 to 8 weeks with an elbow injury. The story was broken by Pro Wrestling Sheet that the Monster Among Men will be sidelined after this past week's Raw, where he faced Kalisto in a one-armed match.
Who won that one?
He'll be undergoing minor procedure to address an undisclosed issue with his elbow. So
Did Strowman win the one-arm match?
I believe so.
I think so.
I don't know. I was half paying attention to Raw this week. So.
Oh, didn't Roman interfere or something?
That sounds.
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah.
And then Roman just like did like 50 Superman punches and
Well, I mean,
Got it
that's
built up.
that's what you do.
Unlimited specials.
Have you seen that move? It's so powerful and so strong.
I'm thinking about learning how to do it.
Yeah.
I heard it's not that hard.
In case you ever accidentally like get into a fight or something like that.
Dude, no.
I would love to see. I would love to see you piss somebody off and have to get into an actual fight, and then you just sit there like, "Yo, put the camera on me."
It's on you, baby.
Thank you.
Everyone load up their Superman.
I refuse.
You gotta.
The champ does not have to load up his Superman. He's already accomplished enough here. It's us schmucks who have to actually.
It doesn't work unless you load it.
Jesus Christ, this show is off the rails. All right, last little bit of news before we completely get off the rails here.
Great.
A cameraman is suing Titus O'Neil. The story stems from an incident that occurred back in May of 2015 when, while filming an episode of WWE Swerved, where O'Neil kicked a camera out of the hand of cameraman Donald Anderson during a prank that saw the head of the Titus brand on the receiving end of an electrical shock.
I would have whooped some ass.
Anderson is suing O'Neil to the tune of $1.2 million for damages stemming from the incident, claiming damage to both his fingers and wrist.
$1.2 million worth of damage.
Look, Titus O'Neil's a big dude. I don't think he's causing $1.2 million of damage to somebody's wrist by kicking a camera.
I'd let him slap me in the face for $150. As hard as he wanted.
How much to get you to?
No, not as hard as he wanted. Almost as hard as he wanted.
How much to get you to join up with the Titus brand?
To join up?
Actually,
They'd have to pay me. Oh wait, that's what you're asking.
On behalf,
$10,000.
okay,
I'm in.
don't listen to Corey. On behalf of Audio Suplex Live, and on behalf of myself and Corey, Titus O'Neil, we
gonna be on the show?
we side with you. And if you want to sponsor our show and bring us under the umbrella of the Titus brand, we're available.
For cheap. We're not that cheap, but you'll have to pay
We're
us.
available. We'll do it. What do you want us to do? I'll throw a couple Uros in. Like, I can do that. I got this.
What is an ura?
You know the thing he does, like not
Is
the
that a
Emma
restaurant?
thing.
Is
but
that a menu item? At
I like the dog bark that he's
yeah,
got.
there it is. You look like a seal.
That's what. That's his thing. I don't know.
You look like a seal.
He's an activist or something.
All right. So, Joe, do you want to cue up our little commercial break? We're going to plug another show here on the Nerd Complex Podcast Network for your guys' listening pleasure. And when we come back, more with our special guests.
Hooray!
Hello, my name is Speedpod,
And I'm James.
and we host a podcast called Chick Flick Picks, where two adult males watch chick flicks and dissect them.
That's it.
They'll talk about it. We make fun of it and have some fun with it. So hopefully you will enjoy it right here on the Nerd Complex Network.
Just stand up.
Oh, no. What did we lose?
She dropped her phone.
Well,
It's just
19 minutes into the episode, and we already have our first botch. Come on.
My arm says 8.
8
Okay,
minutes?
like I just-
You are wearing a hair tie. You're not even wearing a watch.
I don't need a watch. I know what time it is.
You're wearing sunglasses inside, and you're wearing a hair tie.
It's my gimmick now.
So,
I'm the glasses.
all right.
yeah, she's watching.
Oh, that's
We have
awesome.
some viewers?
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Apparently.
Oh, I bet Taylor's watching or is going to watch this.
Yeah.
Our number
So-
one fan, Taylor.
Taylor, if you're listening,
Thanks for not coming to take over with us, you jerk.
hey man, we tried to get you on the takeover train, but didn't quite work out. So
That's if you donate to the show and you're our number one fan, we take you to pay-per-views with us.
it's not actually
Free of
what
charge,
happens.
but you have to
I
donate
will
to the
take
show.
you to NOW Uprising 10.
Yes.
Archery.
Yeah. There you go.
Speaking of NOW Uprising 9 this past weekend, man.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Won the Uprising Championship. It was like a surreal moment, you know.
Is this your first championship that you won?
It is.
Exciting. Very exciting.
This is the first one that I've ever won.
You got the you deserve it chance and everything, man. That was
Yeah, like that really shocked
first.
me.
I don't think I've ever seen that at any show like that.
No, it's
I mean, some of the bigger ones, maybe like the Ring of Honor shows, but something like this.
Yeah,
pretty
like
sweet.
it was. I knew it was something special. About halfway through, I was tagging with the Natural Aces and
Fantastic
Alex Jordan.
team.
Very good.
Yeah, those guys are really good. I remember when Sam Beal.
It's his birthday, by the way.
It's Sam Beal's birthday. Happy
Oh
birthday,
yeah, it's
Sam.
happy birthday, Sam.
Yeah. It's fantastic. He actually.
I remember when he first came in, and he was wearing his glasses, and he was wearing some shorts with some high socks and some tennis shoes, and it's just. I remember when the first day he came through the door and wanted to try out, and then he said he had a friend that was 17, and comes walking this super skinny little Ace Miles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yo, the kid can move though.
Yeah, like they're a really good team, but I knew it was something special. Like when Ace was getting his ass kicked, he we were trying to rally behind him and get the crowd behind him, and I started chanting Ace, and it was just so loud. Like everyone in there was chanting Ace. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, you're doing a good job getting the audience into it. You're definitely getting some chants going.
You're getting the
which is
crowd
pretty
into it, man. That's
sweet.
awesome.
That's what it's about, man. Getting fans invested.
So
I mean, you guys pay for a show. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
Like-
it was crazy. I would say that's the highlight match of the entire night. Right in the middle of
hands
the
down.
card. It
Oh,
was
thank
like,
you.
Yeah, it was definitely the most
Thank
exciting
you.
match, I think.
I appreciate it.
The main event was pretty exciting too. But
Yeah.
overall, you guys were all over the ring. You had the tag belts were stolen at one point. It's pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
oh my
Malcolm.
god, that whole shtick with the VCW, was it the VCW tag belts that
Yeah,
they ended
yeah.
up running out with?
Yeah,
what was it?
so Sam and Ace Miles, the Natural Aces, they won the VCW Tag Team Championship belts from Double M3, and Double M3 decided to steal them. You know,
they didn't want to part with those belts.
unfortunately, they both Sam pinned Double M3, and then
He's
Sam got
hilarious.
pinned by somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Travis and Sam kind of ditched me.
They pieced
Because
out.
they're
They
a
did.
little young and dumb, but luckily I survived.
Yeah. What was interesting is that Alex went in as the Uprising champion.
Yeah, the
Yep.
stipulations of the match.
Yeah, so it kind of explain how the stipulations for the match actually ended up working. So
So stipulations of the match was Alex Jordan was Uprising champion at the time, so his belt was on the line, and my contract and the Natural Aces contract were on the line if VCW won. The tag team belts for VCW were on the line.
Mhm.
And then I think that was the only belt that was on the line for
Wasn't
them.
but the way that
think
it
so.
worked was
Cole Daniels' belt was online, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the NOW
Yeah.
heavyweight championship was on the line, but basically it's an elimination style tag match. So whoever you pin, if
they have something to win, it's
if
yours.
they have something to wager, you win that wager. So
Okay.
Double M3 and Tim Lutz had the tag team ship or the tag belts
yeah.
for VCW. So when Double M3 got pinned, the Natural Aces gained that because Sam Beal had pinned him. Just like if anyone would have pinned Alex Jordan, they would become the Uprising champion,
Which is what happened.
which is what happened with Tim Lutz.
Right.
But the belt is still on the line
Till the end of the match.
till the end of the match.
Right. So whoever ends up with it at the end of the match. So it
Yeah.
kind of hot potatoes a little bit. So
Yeah,
That's pretty
so
interesting.
Tim Lutz was the second ever Uprising champion for about 5 minutes.
yeah. It kind of reminded me of like back in the days of the hardcore title where they
Yeah.
had it like in the Royal Rumble or whatever, and it would change hands like, however many times throughout the match, like, and then you end up with a new champion at the end of the night. So
Right. An unexpected champion too.
yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
exciting.
crazy though. Like I got the pin on Anthony Lee.
Yeah.
and the crowd was super hot for that, and I was like, well, hopefully they're still hot for the end of it. And I hit Tim Lutz with the Blackwell Slam, and people just went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
chanted, "You
awesome.
deserve it." Like I didn't expect that at all. Like that was like the farthest thing from what I expected.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a main event. Like it could have been a pay-per-view moment. Like
Yeah.
the ending of that match was very exciting.
And that's the thing too. Like obviously, like it's our favorite little indie promotion that we have, and I love NOW, and I love going to the shows and being able to support and check you guys out and just watch the progression that you guys have had, even from since I've started going to the shows and stuff like that. Just especially yourself. Like I've watched your I don't want to say watch your career progress, but like
Pretty much.
poking my head into shows every once in a while and just kind of seeing as you're going along. It was kind of cool to see that. So
I think it's exciting how much NOW's come around. I remember first shows I ever went to, it wasn't crazy packed. There wasn't a ton of people. We just went this Saturday, and I was like surprised there was no parking in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, he actually texted me before the show that we were talking about, and goes, "Hey, you got to park on the other side of the building, because there's like nowhere to park on the side that everybody normally parks on." I was like, "Oh my god, like this is crazy."
Yeah, it was crazy.
I even like nudged Robert. I was like, "Yo, man, keep packing them like this. That's awesome."
Yeah, really good stuff, and it makes it special for me and a couple other guys like Natural Aces and Alex Jordan, because that's where like we started our careers. We were born there, we were trained there.
Yeah,
and like it means something special, when you see all that hard work pay off, and it was worth it.
Yeah, there's no hyperbole in this, man. You deserve it. Like you guys have definitely been busting your asses for the past year. But so speaking of you guys kind of like starting there and kind of being like born out of like NOW and Northwest Ohio Wrestling. I don't even say that as like the name of the promotion. I just mean like this whole scene up here. How did you decide that that's what you wanted to get started when you? Let's take us back to when you did actually start your training and.
Well, like when I first started, like I didn't even want to wrestle. Like I had stopped watching wrestling for a little while, because I was just so busy with a lot of stuff. And then one of my best friends, Derek Peterson, got me back into watching wrestling, and then it became like religion. Like every Monday night, like we would hang out. You know what I mean? We'd get like pizza or something, and we would watch Raw and then be like, "Oh, that sucked," Or, like we would try to critique it and be like, "Oh, cool." And Derek's really good at predicting what happens on Raw. It's almost scary. It's like he almost writes the stuff himself. But then he had like
Side note: we're not letting this Derek kid come on to make picks.
Yeah, we don't
This is our show here.
But he had like an epiphany in his life, and he wanted to try wrestling because like he was more into the indie scene than I was. I was more of like mainstream, like WWE. And obviously I've gotten into more indie stuff lately, but with me wrestling. But he wanted to try out wrestling, and I was just I'll try it with you.
Yeah, whatever.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll support you, and we could be like a tag team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we ended up trying out, and I ended up falling in love with it. He had some old nagging injuries, which couldn't allow him to continue. But I continued, and like it just became my life.
That's
and, like,
awesome.
I just fell in love with it. You know what I mean? And then I started watching indie wrestling, and like my mind just like literally had an orgasm and exploded when I learned about like the indie scene. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
Speaking of the indie scene, who are some of do you think like your favorite people on the scene right now? Or
my number one guy that will always be my number one guy is Sammy Callahan.
yes,
Oh yes.
some Ohio love right there, man. I love it.
And it's just not like the wrestling either. It's just like the dude's like a overall good, amazing guy. I've had dinner with him a handful of times, and he came up to NOW. And I got some training in with him at NOW when they were doing like the tryout seminar thing. I was just doing it, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't booked for the day. And he's just a really cool dude, and he's really funny, and he's just a nice person overall.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that goes a long ways.
Yeah, and that's like he's kind of like indicative of like how Ohio, in general, like our whole area, like Ohio and to a degree Michigan as well, where we're based out of, the whole wrestling scene here is just insane right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good stuff and good people. You have
A lot of guys from Dayton.
Callahan,
Yeah.
you have the guys at
Chris
Rockstar down
brothers.
there, Trey Miguel, obviously.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of guys coming out of here that are really kind of putting our state on the map, which is cool. I like it.
Yeah, TNA just signed some OI 4K guys.
Yeah,
Desmond.
Desmond.
Xavier.
yeah, Desmond's with Impact now.
That's awesome.
That's
Yep.
incredible.
He's really good. Like he's one of Sammy's boys, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. He's obviously going to do great, and he's really good. He's really
Oh,
talented.
he's insane. I saw him against who did I see him against? I want to say I can't think of it the life of me. Yeah. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Was it Rhino?
I'll look it up. Corey, do you have any questions you want to kind of pepper in here?
Yeah. So like when you guys first started training, what does that all entail? How often are you training to do something like this, especially at the beginning? Like what do you have to put into time wise, and what does your schedule look like when you do stuff like that?
Well, for there was 2 different classes, so you pretty much would go 3 days a week. Me, him, Alex Jordan, Fielders would be there every single day.
Yeah.
So we start off with some cardio, and then you would do drills for a little bit, and then it was the basics, and then from there you would learn basic moves, and then slowly down the line you start doing practice matches, trying to get the psychology of wrestling.
To kind of learn how to tell like a story in the ring,
Right, the
essentially.
way it should be. Yeah.
Right.
Nice. Interesting.
When she started training, it was a little different for her because we had a couple more people, and we were in a different location from when I started. When I started, we were at the Karate Academy out on Telegraph. Yeah. And I went every day. Like, I was there every day. I trained every day. She went every day when she started training too, but they were separate classes. There was more like beginner classes and then more like advanced classes. But yeah, like it's not easy. It's not easy on your body. Like, it's not easy
Mentally either.
you know.
See, I've heard from a couple of people that, like, especially like at the beginning of your training, a lot of the repetition that you're doing is that you're building up like a tolerance to that kind of, so
for sure.
like taking bumps or something like that.
Running
like,
the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, or running the ropes. Like you're building like essentially like a resistance to it, like a tolerance to
Well,
it.
we did when Chris Chambers, he's one of the trainers, he would have us do roll drills, and those are the hardest things, but it became the easiest for me. You just go around in a circle, and it also is awareness, ring awareness, and that's a huge thing. And you have to do something over and over and over. It's not just doing it one time and you got it down.
Right. It
That
takes
makes
repetition. and-
Yeah, for sure.
Rolls suck for me because I'm 6'3", so getting in little balls.
Yeah, I was gonna say people can't really tell because we're sitting down, but
Yeah.
you're a big guy, man. You're 6'3",
About 290.
290. Yeah, you got some. You got a frame to you, my dude. So that's awesome. So it was David Starr, by the way. It's the match I was thinking of
David
against.
Oh yeah.
Infamous David Starr.
Where was that at?
It was a Rockstar's 5-year show that we went to down in Dayton not too long ago. Went to that with a friend of the show, Matt Goodfriend, if you're listening. Hello, friend.
He's
Oh yeah, that's
He's not listening to our show.
He will if we tell him to.
He's like married and stuff. He doesn't listen to
that's
us.
kids.
So
What a nerd.
Corey,
So Travis, what are you thinking? Let's go move on. I'm not familiar with your entire career as far as face and heel. I'm assuming you're more of a face character now, based on what I saw Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, your character overall definitely feels more of a heel character, but you're in a face.
listen, I don't want to sound like an
phase
NOW
right now.
I don't want to sound like an NOW hipster, but I remember Alan Graves in his heel run, and it was
So
it was a sight to be seen.
my question is, do you prefer to be a heel or a face? I feel like if I were a wrestler, I'd want to be a heel all the time. But what do you think? Do you have a preference?
I don't really have a preference because, like, when I'm heel, I know how to piss people off.
Right.
Like, I know what's gonna get you upset,
Yeah.
and I know what's just gonna how to be a good heel that's gonna piss you off. Like, I don't need to do a 450 off the top rope. No, I'd rather do something cheap and cheeky to piss you off, because
Exactly.
you're gonna get more invested in that. And then with being a face, it's a little more of a challenge for me. So that's what I'm kind of embarking on right now, and like I'm super excited about it because I feel excuse me, that it's a challenge, and I I think I can do it.
It definitely feels like the audience is behind you already. Like I said, you deserve it chance when you won the belt. Says a lot. Just because it feels like that audience, they were really into that match and invested in the match.
Yeah.
And when you did finally win it, you definitely got the face pop. He did it. He won. The guy we wanted to won the match. It wasn't like, had you been a heel, obviously, we had a completely different reaction.
And I think it's different now, too. Like, for me, I wanted to be heel. I'm this dark witch character, and I actually study Wiccan. Like, that's me. So that's what I started off as, too. But people find that so cool and different, especially with my entrance gear. I don't know if you were for that show when I did that match, but just the cloak and everything's different, and people like that.
Yeah.
You see the same people that look the same, they do the same thing, like, fans aren't going to be drawn to you.
Yeah, so you're finding a way to kind of make yourself and your character stick out from...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I feel like the world of wrestling has changed a lot, too, in the last couple of years, where people are rooting for people that, 10, 15 years ago, you're not supposed to root for that person. So they didn't.
They boo the people they would normally cheer, and they cheer the people they would normally boo.
It's like the night after WrestleMania, right? It's crazy. People will just like who they like based on, it doesn't have to be their attitude, whether they're good guy or bad guy. It's more, I identify with this character. I like them. Yeah. That's why I like Tony Nese.
Because you have incredible abs.
They're under there somewhere. I got them. I have abs.
You guys can't tell, but Corey.
I'm wearing a shirt right now.
Cut.
In more ways than one.
So who would you guys say are some of your influences in either both like your character or your like in-ring work?
For me, it was I'm a huge Natalia fan. That's what got me started in wrestling. I think she's amazing, and Bret Hart, of course. But The Undertaker, I love the actual gimmick of something. Yeah. People they don't know for sure what you are. And just like CK Crimson, he's one of our trainers. I look up to him 100%. It's something.
His promos are
amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Top notch.
Tight butthole. I'd have to go with The Undertaker. He's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah. You guys should get along just swimmingly.
My favorite wrestler is Kane.
Yeah, Corey's a big Kane guy.
It's his brother.
Nice.
We could be storyline brothers. This is my brother on the show. Yeah.
You could be looking at
I'm heel Graves.
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves.
There you go.
Perfect.
I think I've never heard of that in my life.
Corey Graves.
Dude, nobody's got that name right now.
I'll do the tattoo thing. That'll be my thing.
Dude, that could be your thing. Get like a nice cool haircut.
Slick your hair back and stuff.
Yeah, suits and everything.
Look into this.
Do have like praying hands and stuff.
Oh yeah.
we have a
doing that right
we have a like a little wrestling friend group, and like one of the common jokes is like, I want somebody to love me the way that Corey Graves' hands love each other.
They're always touching.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. Every time I'm watching something on the network, I'll Snapchat it to everybody. Like whenever Corey Graves' hands come together, just there it is.
Yeah, I mean, he was the only one doing that. Well, you see people doing that now, but the original,
the OG hand holder. So Undertaker's your
that's
go-to.
What I mean,
if you're gonna have one,
like if I'm gonna have one, it's the Undertaker, hands down. I mean, I was super disappointed at WrestleMania, but
I was.
I just want him to always win and never lose.
Yeah. I mean, I get it from a booking standpoint, like why they would do that, especially if they want to go forward with Roman Reigns as quote unquote the guy.
I'm glad they turned Roman heel after that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And they have like the
Roman Reigns is garbage. And now you are too.
I like how Braun Strowman is like the most unintentional face character that they have on Raw. Like he comes out, he literally throws people in dumpsters. He
gets the thank you chant more than anyone on TV.
He's like the Alan Graves of Monday Night Raw.
Pretty much.
It's a big dude who beats the shit out of people, and people love him for it. So I love it. So
you should do a dumpster gimmick. It's hot right now.
Yeah. Well, if you could have so this actually wasn't one of the questions we came up with, but this would be fun. Okay, so Undertaker's got the casket match.
Right.
Braun Strowman, I guess, has the dumpster match now. It's kind of like his thing now. So the Hardys have like the ladder matches and stuff like that. Alan Graves has a match type stipulation that is his match.
Oh man,
this would be so cool.
Mine is
Robert, if you're listening, we need to whatever comes out of here. We need to book this.
Now you got me thinking. Like, what could I do?
My specialty is a dull katana match. I used to play with one of those when I was a kid. I'm real good at it.
Yeah?
Yep. Dull katana match.
This show isn't about you, Corey, and your dull
That's
katana.
really hard.
Have you been in any like as far as your history of matches, hardcore matches? Have you been in any crazy stipulation type matches where where that would come up?
I think my second match ever, I was in a ladder match.
Oh, yikes!
And I went through a table.
Very nice.
Alex Jordan stomped me through a table. So
did you have to practice that ahead of time?
No.
You're like, just do it.
Yeah, just go for it, bro.
Fall on me, I got you.
I got you.
And hopefully this table doesn't have.
Did he do that? Because he does that double foot stomp. Did he?
Yeah,
do
that's
that?
what he did.
He did
Yeah,
that
he
through
did
the
a
table?
double foot stomp through the table, and then he climbed the ladder to win the uprising belt.
I was at that show. I remember that. Yeah.
That's so
Okay.
good.
Taking me back a little bit.
Yeah, Marcus was in that match, and that other really crappy guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cole Daniels.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. We have heat with Colt Daniels now.
Yeah, what is that?
Traitor.
Oh yeah.
Traitor.
How could he do that?
I don't know.
Betrayed Northwest Ohio Wrestling.
How?
I don't know. It's probably because he's got a loose butthole.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Tweet that out.
So yeah, an Alan Graves.
Hashtag what?
You do like a ladder match where like
You know what? I'd probably have to do a kendo stick.
a kendo stick match.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to mess with one of
Oh.
those.
I feel like I would.
Because Cole hit me with a kendo stick one time, and he got me like right in the arm and left a welt,
Yeah.
and it really sucked. But I think like the stipulation of the match would be, is you literally whoever hits somebody with a kendo stick the most and breaks the kendo stick.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
you have to break
Jesus.
the kendo stick
That's how you win it?
to win.
You get the break over the head.
You
or something.
have to break the kendo stick to win.
You're screwing yourself over by saying this on air now because it's going to get out and then it's going to get
Go
booked
for it.
and-
Anybody that wants to book it, I'm totally down.
I think Abyss is looking for an opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That'd
would
be
be
so good.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Monster versus monster.
that would be awesome.
Well, speaking of which, who are some people either like on like the indie scene, either here in Ohio or abroad, or even like if you're dream booking into the future, if you make it up to like a WWE-esque or like a larger indie promotion, who are some people that you would want to have like an Alan Graves or an Avarice Gloom dream match with? Like,
Ooh, interesting.
come
I
on
mean,
with it. Come on
I
with the heat,
really-
man.
How big you tell
Badly-
him the dream here?
I want to do a tag team match with him against Jessica Havoc and Sammy Callahan.
That would be
I would love to
cool.
get my ass kicked by her. I love her so much.
So they're
She's
they're
badass.
they're the
that's
Death
not a-
Machines. What would your
Yeah.
guys' tag team name be?
I don't know.
Gloomy Graves.
Yeah, Gloomy Graves.
Gloomy Graves.
Sorry, it's the
Very
first thing-
original.
Super. I don't know what it would be offhand. I'm usually, I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know offhand. I'm more of a guy who likes to think about things, constantly for like 2 days, and then I'll come up with a decision.
Right.
I don't know. We just be the unstoppable couple.
The unstoppable couple.
Yeah.
That's the plan here soon. Hopefully, when I'll be getting back into wrestling. I want to definitely do something like that with him. Work with him.
Start doing some like intergender tag
Yeah, I
team
really. I
matches
mean, I
and-
know we can't like. I know promotions in Ohio do it, and you're not supposed to. But I got trained with the guys. I'd rather wrestle with the guys. I haven't had like too bad of experience with girls. I did do a triple threat against Faye Jackson from Ring of Honor and Sahara 7, and they were amazing.
Yeah.
That was probably, it was so much fun. He got kids hitting him, like, they hated
Yeah,
him.
so like I valeted her like last moment day. She asked if I could valet her, and I was like, sure, why not, like let's do it. And I valeted her, and I got so much heat.
I didn't have to do
Kids
anything.
were punching me. They were literally jumping the rails and punching me.
Oh no.
And at one point, because they had just done like a triple spot in the ring, and the crowd was chanting, "You look stupid."
We
And
thought we did
they
something.
thought they
we were
messed up.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they were all pointing at me at like the other side of the ring. Like the whole crowd was just saying, "You look stupid." And then we went to in that match. What's her name? Not Faye, but the other one. Sahara, yeah. So Sahara 7, right?
Yeah.
Sahara 7. During that match, I had ran her into the post and into the guardrails.
You're the worst.
Yeah, everyone hated me for that. But that's one of those things. Like I know how to get you to hate me.
See, that's why heels It's better to be. You
Right?
know,
See, I
do whatever you want.
think it's more challenging to be a face, man.
It is
It
more
is.
challenging.
Absolutely.
It's way more challenging.
Take the easy way out. Take the heel way out.
And well, that's your gimmick. And me, on the other hand, I want
You're
people
fighting.
like me.
You're fighting the urge to be heel.
Like me. Like me.
Like me.
But yeah, we went to like the next weekend. We went. She was booked at OCW
in Akron.
in
It's
Akron,
really good
Ohio.
promotion.
Yeah, run by Sherman Tank. Really great dude. And I wasn't booked or anything, and I wasn't mailing her, so I recorded her match for her. And out of the blue, like as I'm starting to record her match, this kid gives me like this funny look, and I'm just like, I smiled because like I had no idea like if he even knew me or what was up, and he just gave me like this glare, like ugh, you know. And as I started recording her match, he walks up to me and he's like, you know what you did last week was like really messed up about beating that chick up.
He
And
remembered.
I was just like, oh god, like you were at that show. Like,
Oh no! So
that was pretty cool. I thought that was hilarious.
this kid completely like got worked.
Got a
Yeah.
lasting effect on these fans.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mark.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, that's funny. So what was the story that we were talking about right before we went on the air that we said that we would have to bring up again that you started?
Oh yeah, so on June 2nd, I'm wrestling for Mega, and they're doing like a Comic-Con
Yes.
themed thing, and they talked about booking Avarice, and she got booked, but she's sick, so she can't wrestle at the show, unfortunately now. But Brandon had contacted me about getting booked, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm totally stoked. Like, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd,
Right.
and like, he was like, that's awesome. We have another spot for you, like, and we'll give you a Star Wars match. And I'm like, I just started going on a rant. I'm like, I'm so excited. I've wanted to have a lightsaber battle for years in a match. And it was just like, I'm super excited, and hopefully it turns out really good. And like, I just found a couple websites that they do like actual, like they just make you cosplay costumes.
Right.
And like I was looking into like a Kylo Ren one with like a full mask and everything.
Yeah.
I'm looking into a couple of them, and once I figure out what everyone's doing, I'll appropriately order my cosplay attire
That'll be
and be
awesome.
wrestling as whatever Star Wars character I pick. But that
Jar Jar
should be
Binks.
super fun.
You should be Jar Jar.
Dude, and that's what I love about pro wrestling is like you can literally have a match where like it's as the basis of it is like very deep in storyline and like storytelling, and then you can have stuff like this where you're dressed as like Kylo Ren and just like in the middle
Yeah.
of the ring with a lightsaber. Like it reminds me of like have you guys heard of a Hood Slam out in California?
No.
They're a promotion, but all their matches are like they have like Link from The Legend of Zelda as one of their characters, and Joey Ryan does a bunch of stuff with them. Obviously,
funny.
Yeah.
anywhere where there's like crazy shit going on, Joey Ryan's there. So
That's awesome.
yeah, but they have all sorts of crazy like gimmick matches. Or like Kaiju Big Battle's another one too, where they have like
Doesn't DDT wrestling? They do a bunch of weird stuff.
yeah,
they
well,
wrestle
I mean,
dolls. And
yeah,
stuff.
they was it
blow up dolls. Kenny Omega had a match with a
with a
9-year-old
blow up
girl.
dolls. Same thing with Kota Ibushi as well. He had a
Never heard of
match
that
with
guy.
a. It's because you don't watch anything not Impact or WWE.
I think I saw that on Facebook where
Yeah.
they wrestled the blow up doll.
He took, like,
He wrestled that little girl, Kenny Omega did, and it was insane.
Did you guys see the thing with Pete Dunne using a kid as a weapon at a show not too long ago?
No. I
Oh
haven't
my god,
yet.
it's fantastic. He literally just like picks up this kid. I can't even remember who he's wrestling, but he like essentially like
Spears him
spears
in the face
him with the kid's
feet.
feet. It's so fantastic.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
People were giving him a bunch of like heat on Twitter and stuff like that. Like, how are you gonna like use a kid? He's like, dude, it's wrestling.
And then he
Shut
said,
up.
F
Yeah.
kids, I hate them.
Yeah, and then he did this thing, and I was like, yes, Pete Dunne. All right,
Exciting.
Corey, do you have any other?
I do. I'm interested. So I know. I believe you mentioned your finisher move when you were talking about the finish of that match, correct?
Yes.
What exactly, if you could describe to our audience that may have not seen you wrestle, what exactly is your finisher move, and maybe why you chose that as your finisher? Did you try other moves out, and you've kind of finally settled on something, or how did that all come about?
Well, my finisher is a combo. When you're in the corner, I do a step up kick to the face, and then I pull you out into a black hole slam. How that came about was I started doing that step up kick because at that point I haven't learned a super kick, but I just wanted to kick somebody. So like I just kind of taught myself that,
Right.
and it looks really good. So I started using it, and then when I was getting trained, they had mentioned that I should use Abyss's finisher, the black hole slam. So I just decided to combine them. and
It's a nice little combo there.
Yeah.
The step up kick especially is like one of my favorite spots that you have. That you like whenever you do that, I'm like, yes, fantastic. Run
The
it.
fact that you and Abyss have the same finisher just screams that this match needs to happen.
I know.
In the world of
I think
NOW,
it
that
needs to
and
happen.
every time Sam does a spine buster will get me to pop every time.
Oh, I know. He's so good. And his spears are.
I
really,
pulled him
really good.
aside one time after a show. I was like, dude, that spine buster was insane.
Oh, yeah.
me,
Taking the black hole slam is so much fun. Like, whenever we were in training, I was like, please, can I just do it? It's so much fun to take.
But it hurts really bad, so
It does.
be careful.
I die every time.
Don't ask
I'm a
for it.
witch, so I
So you
live.
resurrect every
Yeah.
time.
You don't want to
Yeah,
ask
regenerate.
for it, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, so, all right, this was fun. This was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. So, do you guys have any? So you've got some shows coming up that you guys have booked.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about what's coming up.
So on June 2nd in Mega, I'm doing that cosplay show, like I just mentioned. And then May 27th is NOW at the Belief Center. Bell time for that is
One Aurora Drive.
Yeah, one Aurora Gonzalez Drive. It's off of South Avenue.
Here in beautiful Toledo, Ohio.
In Toledo, Ohio. And then the big one is June 10th. So June 10th at the Seagate Center in downtown Toledo, NOW will be having a wrestling event during the Toledo Music Fest. It's really big for us. It's a potential 1,500 people.
It's huge.
Not only am I wrestling at that show, I am also playing in my band Second String Hero at that show. So I will be pulling double duties that day. So
What do you play?
I play the guitar and I do backup vocals as well.
Nice,
Very
nice.
cool.
That's awesome. Have you thought about using a guitar?
Ooh, a guitar match.
Like oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, like instead of the
You already
candlestick.
used the guitar.
A
Oh,
shred
yeah,
match.
I did. I did use a guitar.
Use
Against,
an electric guitar. That'll hurt more.
Yeah, that would suck. But I tried
Until
using.
it breaks.
I tried being cheeky and using it against Johnny Carrazzi, but that backfired on me.
Love Johnny Carrazzi. I think it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
he's awesome.
So, all
So you
right.
said June 10th. That's the big one.
Yeah, at the
we
Seagate
may
Center.
we may do something with that. so
we got some
Yeah.
cool things in the
Keep your ears out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Robert, if you're watching, have these guys do commentary and a podcast during that.
That'd
Every
be
show.
fun.
we'll figure
Every
it out.
show.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
Every show. Why not?
We got to get this on TV.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a guy at NBC.
You know a guy?
Yeah, doesn't Stephen
Does he
Colbert
wear
work
sun-
for NBC?
does
I don't
he-
know him personally, but I know of him.
Does he wear sunglasses inside too, or
I don't know.
is that your gimmick?
That is one of my gimmicks.
So, all right. Well, thanks guys for coming on, man.
Yeah,
This
we
is-
appreciate it, man.
This is, we'll have you guys on again for sure. This is as long as you guys are willing, we'll have you guys on.
yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
again for
We'll
sure.
need an update.
Always.
But when you inevitably win the NOW title,
Inevitably, I
you
like
know,
the way you said that.
we cash
Yeah.
in the uprising
Sure.
title for the real quick for those. So explain the uprising title for anybody not familiar with NOW.
So the Uprising title is basically we run a product of Uprising and then main shows. Our Uprisings are kind of more like NXT, but they've become so popular,
Just like NXT.
just like NXT, that they have now become our main shows. So now we have two main championship belts, one being the Uprising Championship belt and one it being the NOW Heavyweight Championship belt.
Right.
So
We have
that
tag team belts.
Can we see the
Yeah,
belt?
let's
Can we
hold it
let's
up.
get the
Yeah.
belt on the camera? That is a gorgeous looking title, by the way. Look at
There
that.
it
Your
is.
NOW Uprising Champion, Alan Graves.
Yeah, that's a badass title.
Yeah. So
and it fits.
That's good too.
we have the replica WWE belt, and I'm too big of a dude. It doesn't like fit around my
It
huge
fits me.
chubby boy waist.
It fits
So-
me.
Well, neither one of us is the champion right
last-
now. I was,
yeah.
I was at Matt's house the other night, and he has it just sitting in his living room,
saw a
like, mocking
picture.
me. Oh, it's terrible. Pisses me off. But anyway, so before we get out of here, Corey,
Let's plug everybody's Twitter, Facebook,
well,
or
you
fan
had
page,
you had a
or-
thing that you wanted to
Oh,
talk. Yeah, you texted me earlier
yeah.
today. New thing we want to try at the end of every show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Corey, being the heel of the show, wearing sunglasses inside, like
You
the
got to.
plebeian that he is.
I didn't even brush my
What's
beard
the
today.
song where they talk about wearing sunglasses inside?
Oh, it's sunglasses at night.
I wear
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
sunglasses at
by
night.
Corey
Oh, God.
Hart.
Dude, you should. That's literally be your
circle.
theme song.
That's your theme. There it is.
No, my theme is Renegade by Styx.
That also makes a lot of sense.
That is a
my-
good song though.
Yeah.
That's my entrance
What
song.
would mine be? Probably some rap song.
It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls.
That is also a good song.
That is your entrance song.
When I saw...
Because when you beat them up, it rains men.
Yeah, I just knocking dudes out of the ring left and
You're
right.
just beating them off of you.
Yep,
Get
over the
off
top
of me,
rope.
guys. Get off of me.
My gimmick would be throwing people over the top rope. And then I would tell people if this was WCW...
It would be illegal.
I would be disqualified because that was illegal, as we found out last week. So...
heel of the week, you're going to do a face of the week.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. My heel of the week is the number one contender for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, Jinder Mahal, who got a pinfall victory over Randy Orton on SmackDown. He's my heel of the week.
He's doing quite heelish things. Getting the posing with the belt, the pictures, the photo shoot, the whole nine.
He looked good with that belt. Don't say he didn't.
He's not taking it. He's not taking it at Backlash. But
He looked good with that belt.
yeah, he did look very good
Vince
with
is
that
going to
belt.
see that and see dollar signs.
He sees India, and there are like 6 gajillion people that live there, and he sees
Money.
money.
Randy's so boring.
So, all right.
Who's
so
your face of the week?
on the flip side of that, I will be picking a face of the week, also from SmackDown Live.
Of course.
Breezango. They are doing fantastic things in their number one contendership for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. These backstage segments with them, have you guys seen these yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're
Fashion
fantastic.
Love them.
I love it because they have like a lot of like Easter eggs in the background of like the scenes, like pictures. Like they had Vince McMahon's mugshot back there. This week they had a picture of the British Bulldog and Matilda that said "Fashion Faux Pause."
That's awesome.
Nice
They're
little.
so
I'm a big
funny.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of punny humor. So, and they're fantastic. Tyler Breeze and
Hilarious.
They're both hilarious. So.
The Southpaw thing that they did was great.
Oh my God, Southpaw Regional Wrestling is the best thing ever. So let's plug everything. Let's plug Northwest Ohio Wrestling. Let's plug Corey's Twitter.
So Northwest Ohio Wrestling, do you know what their Twitter is?
It is
419.
419
419
Wrestling.
Wrestling,
I believe so.
I believe.
I'm gonna look that up real
That's
quick.
Instagram. It's 419 Wrestling.
Yeah, so Instagram and Twitter is 419 Wrestling for North Ohio Wrestling.
Yep. Twitter is 419 Wrestling. The Instagram is 419 Wrestling.
And then Facebook is just Northwest Ohio Wrestling.
Yeah, look them up on there.
Yeah.
All your upcoming dates are on there, obviously.
Yep.
What about you guys? Do you guys have fan pages or Twitter accounts or anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, so Twitter is Alan Graves 1991. And then my Instagram is just Alan Graves, and so is my Facebook.
Simple enough.
I think my Twitter is Avarice333, and then it's Avarice Gloom for my Instagram.
Fantastic.
Exciting. And as always, you can catch me at heel_Corey.
Don't follow me. I'm boring. But if you wanted to, it's at XDrTX on Twitter, Instagram. And you can follow us at Audio Suplex Live. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on iTunes. Give us all of your money.
Yeah, don't forget to donate. We don't have a donate page yet, but if you see us on the street, we do take cash.
Yeah, just give us cash. That's fine. So
Only in ones.
No, we'll take. I'll take anything up to like as big as $100.
I'll take a $100 bill. Yeah.
I'll take one.
So Joe, do you want to get us out of here?
Later.
Hey guys, we would like to thank the band Wax for our intro and outro music. You can check them out at waxoh.bandcamp.com. You have been listening to the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.